Hey guys, Natasha here, and in today's blog I'm going to talk a little bit more about happiness. And happiness really is, for many people, this elusive thing and often occurs in a wave. So it tends to be the peak of a wave, the crest we could call it, before the drop. And it's a constant battle between feeling really good, feeling bad, feeling good, feeling bad. And I think for the most part, we have to honor the fact that our whole existence is made of waves. How crazy is that? Read more about that if you're interested by Googling waves and particles. But yeah, basically, for the most part, I think happiness tends to be this elusive thing that is quite out of reach. Happiness is also these days sold to us in the media and advertising as being linked to external objects, external situations, external devices. So if you buy this, then you'll definitely be happy. If you get this job, then you'll definitely be happy. But for the most part, I think that there are many ways that we can attach our own happiness to X, Y, and Z. So for example, we could say, well, when I get married, then I'll be happy. So I think we ourselves are very capable of attaching our own happiness to external people, places, situations too. But in my experience, in my very small and humble experience that I've had with this concept, happiness is internal. Happiness is very much something that you can create inside, and quite easily as well. For me, happiness always comes from feeling at home in myself. So feeling as though I've really arrived and there's a sense of peace. So a lack of information or a lack of worry going on in my mind. And this is what I call happiness, or the feeling of happiness, this feeling of peace and space mentally. And so today I wanted to give you 5 very good points that may make you more aware of how you can find happiness in your life. I think that happiness boils down to these 5 things. I mean, there's many more things that you can do, but this is my list of 5. Number 1. Let yourself and let others off the hook. And this means forgiving yourself of all those silly things that you did. And they often are the very material for our thoughts that keep us in a state of worry or keep us in a state of shame or embarrassment at what we said previously, how we acted previously, and who we may have hurt in the process. So we all have to put our hands up and say, we are human. And humans are very prone to making mistakes. And so what this doesn't do as well is excuse you from the behavior that you've done and then allows you to do it again. No. So it's a little deeper than that. It's basically taking responsibility for all you've done and at the same time saying, I forgive you. I forgive you because at that time when I acted in that way, or when I said that thing, or when I was mean to so-and-so, I was suffering myself. And so this is a really key thing, taking responsibility for your own suffering at the time, not projecting it out onto someone else as well. And we can look back at events as well where others have hurt us. And with that newfound knowledge, we can then say, they were suffering too. So they were suffering. They were just in a period of their life where they weren't happy, they were perhaps in destructive behaviors, and they couldn't help themselves in that moment. And so this is really the key to letting yourself and letting others off the hook, to acknowledge the fact that perhaps there was suffering involved, where they were in destructive behaviors because they didn't feel good about themselves deep down. Number 2, align yourself with all of your decisions as quickly as possible. So for example, if you've made a certain decision in your past and then you have regrets about this decision, perhaps you were in the fork in the road and you chose to go right when you feel that you should have gone left. So for example, it's no good looking back 5 years ago and thinking, I should have done this, I should have done that. But really what we can do instead is recognize where we're at in the moment. And so where we're at right now is the present, and we're only here because we're meant to be here. The present is all that exists, and everything else is merely an illusion. So once we get that into our heads, we can then align ourselves with all of the decisions we've made. So there's no regrets, and it's very much, I'm here, I'm meant to be here, and therefore I'm going to align myself with every decision I've previously made, because I know that they were meant, or that they were the right decision at the time. Even if with hindsight you think, no, that wasn't the right decision. Align yourself with the decision you made in that moment as you, as that person, because you're a very different person now, most probably. Number 3, get really good at being alone. And so this could mean a whole load of things for you, but the very simple example is when you're home alone and there's this feeling of boredom. It's like a kind of internal itch, not like that, like an energetic itch that you want to scratch. So basically, getting really good at not scratching the itch is part of happiness, is part of spending time alone and being able to be alone. So for example, if you're at home and you're like, oh, I'm really bored, instead of calling all your friends to go to the pub, why not see it as an amazing opportunity to sit down and put on a meditation or to spend time with yourself? And when you get really good at that, when you get good at overcoming the itch, the metaphorical and energetic itch, then happiness is easier to feel, easier to attain. We can also channel our time and our energy that we have alone into creative activities. So for example, just get a pen and get a piece of paper and then just draw something. It's so therapeutic, I promise. And I went out the other day and I bought some paints, and I've been making these paintings, of which one is behind me on the wall, and I swear it looks like my 5-year-old cousin probably did it instead of me, but it's really, really therapeutic. So I highly recommend embracing alone time. Number 4, have a good old cry. Like, crying is the most amazing thing. Have you ever been alone and you had this sudden urge, or maybe you thought of something really funny, or someone texted you something really funny, and you've been laughing out loud on your own at home? Well, crying is the same thing. So both are very much a release, and one that is not attached to positive or negative per se, but just a way for your body to release information, release whatever it's been holding. And in doing so, you clear space for happiness to fill you up. So I recommend so highly crying whenever you feel the urge to. Even if you're at home in your bedroom and there's people downstairs and you feel this sudden need to cry, it can come from just a tiny thought. You don't have to think that is you. You are not, the most depressed person ever if you feel the need to cry. It just means that you need a release. So give it a go. Be really courageous, be really vulnerable. And when you feel the urge to cry, cry. And finally, number 5. Number 5 is practice meditation or yin yoga. For I guarantee that all of the previous 4 points will be so much more easy to access when you practice yin or meditation. So yin and meditation allow us the time and allow us the space to be vulnerable, to feel our emotions, to process information and all we've been thinking or carrying, all our fears, our worries, our doubts, and also to cry. There's so many people that cry in my classes, and I absolutely welcome that. So I recommend doing yin or meditation if you can, maybe for 10 minutes a day. And then you'll be well on your way in your journey towards and to attaining, but also to retaining happiness. That feeling that you can access whenever you want to. That feeling that everything is actually okay. We have it good, really good. And we should be very thankful for every moment we have. So if you enjoyed this blog and you want to see more, then do subscribe to my channel by clicking the subscribe button wherever it may be on your screen. And I will be back very soon for my next vlog. Have an amazing and a happy day. Oh, and on a final note, if you are feeling depressed or if you just feel like you're really overwhelmed with what you're dealing with, then talking to someone can really help. And see this as an opportunity to get closer to your loved ones by opening up about how you're feeling. Sometimes the darkest of times can actually bring us closer to the ones that we love and our family. And if you don't have anyone around you that you can open up to, then seeking professional help and someone to talk to every month or every 2 months or every week if you can afford, can really, really, really help. So don't be afraid to seek and to ask for help. I'll see you guys soon, and subscribe to my channel to receive my next vlog, and hopefully I will be hearing from you in the comments below. I'd love to know if you have any comments about what I've spoken about today or any tips of your own. Maybe you've been through something and you want to share that too. I'll look forward to speaking with you in the comments. Bye.